Hello, I'm Tony, and welcome to the Tony Shap Show. Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back. I'm super excited to have William with us. I can't wait for him to share his story with you. I've been looking forward to it all week. I can't wait. This is the best way. We were just talking before we press record. This is the best way to finish up the week and going into the weekend. But I just want to give you a big, warm welcome from me and also the audience listening. Welcome to the Tony Shap Show, William.
Thank you, Tony. I really appreciate it.
Of course. Let's start off with the one word open. What's your one word you could use to describe how you're feeling right now?
Pumped.
Pumped. Beautiful. Okay, let's go right into business. So, people are listening to this are other leaders like yourself, CEOs, founders, VCs, and also, potential clients. So we'll just do rapid fire and get right to it. So tell us about your business, how you got started, your why, and where you are now going into 2021 at the time of recording this, and also where you're planning on going.
Okay. So I run a company called Uprising Food, and we do low-carb superfood staples. We started in bread, and we just recently launched chips. And really how I got started was a combination of having a lifelong vision that at some point I would step into the world of entrepreneurship, feeling like I wanted to do something big that would help a lot of people. Grew up in an entrepreneurial family, very, very small scale. Also had a mother who was a health coach who installed these healthy principles in me from a very young age. And so I had this combination of interests and I know at some point I'm going to do this. However, I went into the corporate world first in order to train, in order to get the skills necessary. I did 4 years in commercial investment banking. Then I found myself at Procter & Gamble, where I was running marketing for a $2 billion beauty brand. And so I was really acquiring skills, learning more on the health side as I got older. And then really realized wait a minute, all the things I had learned from a biohacking perspective, they have not yet been bottled up in a really awesome food product. And now folks are becoming aware of these niche lifestyles at scale. And I really wanted to help these people like my father who, experiencing now health diseases due to eating and not having access to the right foods for their life. And I said, hey, if I'm ever going to make this jump from the big corporate machine at Procter & Gamble and run after my dream, there's not going to be a better opportunity than this. So that was really the genesis for starting Uprising.
That's beautiful. Thanks for sharing that with us. Let's talk about some recent wins. So I know you got a recent round that you were able to raise, which is exciting. Yep. I'd love to hear about that. And also, if you could share with us another win that's in business context that you're proud of, that you could put on the board and you love to speak about. That way, the listeners could have some solid takeaways as they're having listened to this conversation.
Yeah. So from a funding perspective, absolutely, that every time you raise capital, that is certainly a win. But one thing that is, I think, a little different about me is that I have oriented the whole company around our biggest wins are actually when we get 5-star reviews from our customers. So we have a whole channel inside our Slack where we share our customer reviews, and Zach, my head of customer retention, will send everyone from time to time, hey, here's the types of reviews that are coming in, because we actually most care about health transformation. So what we want to know is, are our products actually making a difference in people's lives or not? Because my big bet is that if we are doing that, people will buy, they will rebuy, they will tell their friends, and the rest of the business will come. So if we know that is happening, that is the lifeblood of Uprising, of knowing that the product is incredible, it's blowing people's taste buds away, and they are able to get the health transformation that they're really going for. And when we raise capital, it's an amazing thing. It's phenomenal to accelerate our growth. But I think a lot of founders, you can get into a trap of being in that kind of capital raising cycle, and it feels like such an incredible achievement. And to me, it's not sexy at all. I'm like, okay, I know I need 1.25 million dollars to get from here to here so we can keep doing what we do. And we got some amazing investors and people behind it. So it's absolutely incredible win. But our win is like the really micro, seeing, hey, we just launched chips, which we've been working on for over a year at this point, a long R&D cycle, perfecting this product, seeing that those first December batches to our best customers go out the door, and then those people report back and say, I don't know how you guys did this, but this is amazing product. People saying like, this is better than regular chips. That is our win. Making a
That's really
product that
huge.
truly changes people's lives.
That's a tall transformation you're doing. So you know what I mean? Instead of just saying,
Yeah.
hey, let's run these KPIs up through the roof and to the next level, but you're actually, you know, about creating happiness, like Zoom, you know, the Eric says on Zoom, happiness for his clients. It's a bigger thing that he started off with. With you, you want to transform their health, and getting 5-star reviews and feedback. That's like your currency that you're
Yes,
kind of using to
100%.
evaluate your you know how well you guys are doing, and that's super awesome. I've never heard that before, and I can't wait to have other people listening to walk away with that as well. Now let's talk about the other side of that. Is there something that you've recently experienced that's not a win? And also, how did that go down at a high level? And what did you learn from it, William?
Yeah. So um, you learn a lot as a first time food entrepreneur. So I think, while I was very experienced in CPG and, very experienced on the financial side of things, and, a lot of entrepreneurs start businesses in categories that they are very familiar with. You'd be surprised how some like nuances of your subcategory might play out that you didn't necessarily expect. So something that was tricky for us, or was a issue with launching new products is because we chose e-commerce as our channel. When we first launched our bread, we didn't have enough R&D data and understanding of how a fresh bread without preservatives would be affected by different regions and temperatures and all of these various things. So R&D data that we had done in the pre-launch process didn't necessarily hold in shipping it to Hawaii or shipping it to certain geographies that where you can't control UPS. So all of a sudden, the product gets to the food or gets to the customer, it's delayed or whatever, and all of a sudden the customer has a very poor experience. And so we've had to overcome some real tricky moments in knowing how to control the supply chain the entire way from time it leaves our door to the time it gets to your doors, and making sure we can deliver that 5-star level experience each and every time. And so I think that's been the biggest like setbacks, is where you're expecting things to go a certain way and you're dependent on many people to take your product from point A to point B. And then if one part of the supply chain falls down, the consumer emails you and says, hey, why isn't the product, why wasn't this perfect? Well, they don't realize, nor do they care, nor should they care that, oh, FedEx is, double their volume they've ever done, and they can't find drivers fast enough to get a fresh product from point A to point B on time reliably. So we've definitely had to deal with some shipping challenges and logistics challenges by being an e-commerce focused business. And so that it's certainly, it's not a win when a consumer doesn't get the product as promised, but then we also always try to flip these challenges into a strength. And so, we look at each time we run into these type of things, we look at, okay, how can we take our weakness and make it our strength? How can we recover, earn a lifelong customer? How can we take what would be a 1-star experience and turn it into a 5-star experience? So, and of course, you're not going to be able to do that every single time, but in general, that's what we try to do. We had breakage with our chips, in some of the early batches. So of course, we got to go back to the manufacturers. Like, hey guys, what's going on here? What kind of testing do we need to implement? Do we need to tweak the packaging? Do we need to tweak the process? But all those things just make you so much stronger as a company, in my opinion.
Absolutely, and no one can say it better than you, because you know your business better than anyone else on the planet, and you're learning by not reading a book. You're actually doing it. So it's the chips, the bread, the shipping issues and stuff like that. So I want to shift a little bit into your perspective. I'd love to hear your perspective on what it takes for an entrepreneur to go from 0 to 500,000, and what kind of mindset would that take? And then furthermore, in your opinion, William, what does it take to go from 500,000 to a million as a company? So if you could share your philosophy and all that
Yeah.
good stuff and what you think it takes, that'd be
Oh
great.
yes, I love this topic. The path from 0 to 500,000 to me is about seeing what does not exist and being able to communicate it to every single person you touch in a way that they believe that it will exist. And that takes every packaging supplier, every FedEx interaction, every employee, every customer. When every single one of these things, when you are in that 0 to 500,000 stage, you are creating something that does not exist except in your mind's eye. And you have to, with almost unshakable confidence, be able to say, this is going to happen. And here's the steps that it's going to take to get there. And when you can do that, people get behind you before you're at that $500,000 mark. And without that, a lot of businesses will die before they have achieved the levels that it takes to start scaling. And you're going to need help in those early days. You're going to need someone to go, you know what, this company might be pretty big. I'm going to give them a price discount on this, that, or the other that they wouldn't necessarily get if they weren't, until they're more proven. So that was helpful for me, selling a vision with conviction that this was going to happen. Here's how it's going to happen. And I need you, person over here, to help me with this piece of the puzzle. So that to me is a key, for that 0 to 500,000 stage.
Got it.
500,000 to a million, I believe that stage is more about, can you repeat your entire business with some level of reliability? So from, can you acquire the customer, to can you fulfill that order, and can you fulfill the rebuy and take care of all the little things in between? When you're starting to get through that cycle, to that level of revenue, you're really trying to see, can I get through this cycle over and over and over again? Because you've pretty much figured, okay, I acquire these types of people, and I can get the product to them. But now, can I do it more reliably? Can I do it with more excellence, so that now I can start to look at scale, and putting that pedal to the floor?
Beautiful. That's going to help out a lot of listeners. So if they're watching this on YouTube or they're listening, that's a huge takeaway, people. That's great. Thanks for sharing that with us, William. Now, let's shift into a little bit more about the type of people that you help. So I know you can help a lot of people, but what is that one sweet spot of person that you help the most? I know that you rate
Yeah.
with your 5 stars and you're having a transformation in their health. So what's a typical sweet spot for you of a person that you help?
Yeah, so because we're e-commerce, we are able to successfully execute a multi-segmented consumer strategy. So we definitely have distinct segments of people. We would put different types of advertising in front of them that puts the messages and the benefits of the product that uniquely resonate with them. So we definitely match to the right consumer at the right time with our communication, and our product just so happens to be the type of product that is good for lots of different people. That said, the people who are our best customers, as far as they need us the most, and I really always think of these things through, like, who actually freaking needs us versus who are we just a nice to have for. And the people who find the most benefit with Uprising, and then we try to double down all of our efforts in serving, is those who have actually experienced going without our type of product, so a bread, a chip, um, because they've had some sort of legitimate health issue. So they've, maybe they're pre-diabetes, diabetes, had gut health issues. Maybe they've, for whatever reason, gluten-free, celiac, all these things, these create moments where someone has to fundamentally change their life. And it is jarring. And they understand, man, this really sucks when I can't do what everyone else is able to do, or what I've been used to doing. Now all of a sudden my life is way more stressful, way more complex, all these things. And they have tried products that are just full of broken promises. So we are like we're weird in that we do not care about competition, from the sense of like, we love you to try every other bread and chip on the market and then come to us because you will realize pretty quickly, whoa, these people have taken these products to a whole nother level. So we really want to come alongside that person who is truly, they need our help. They're living some sort of lifestyle that's a bit modified, for one reason or another. Maybe it's just for superior health. Maybe it's because they medically have to, and everywhere on that spectrum. And we want to be like, look, you can have bread again. You can have crunch again. All the things that you missed and other products have promised, but maybe the promise has been broken. We're going to deliver on that.
Excellent. So how can our listeners get a hold of you? How can they find out more about your company?
So best way to reach us is uprisingfood.com. Just go to the website, and then that will take them from there. If you want to reach out or connect with me directly, LinkedIn is the best place. Just, look for me in the search bar, William Schumacher. I do go by William Washington when I'm in brand, because our brand metaphor is Revolutionary War inspired. And so, we I always say, like, we want to liberate the masses from this whole system that is making them sick and unhealthy. And so that's why we kind of pick that. So when I'm in character, I'm William Washington, but in the real world, on LinkedIn, I'm William Schumacher.
That's really great. I'll have to have you on another time so we go dive deep into that. I'd love to hear that.
Oh, I'd love to. I'm a brand guy through and through. So
I can't wait. I can't wait to have you back on here again. So as we're coming to an end here, let's wrap it up with the one word close.
Okay, one word close. Excited.
Excited. Excellent. Well, William, thank you very much for coming on to the show. I'm super delighted that you were able to share some deep values with us about, what it took for you to start the business, your why, where you are. That was quite remarkable, and also the lives that you're changing. So we appreciate that.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you. And there you go. I hope you enjoyed it, and great to have you, and thanks for listening. And don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned for the next episode. Till next time, onwards and upwards.